Hello and welcome to Finding Hidden Gold with Retargeting and Real-Time Bidding. How to increase your advertising ROI with retargeting and RTB display advertising. Before we get into a lot of the content here, I'd like to ask you a few questions to get you thinking. And when we're in meetings that are face-to-face like this, it helps us tailor the presentation to better suit your needs, which we can't do because you're watching this through a video. However, if you think about these questions, it will get you thinking and it will get those circuits going so that as I present, it will bring up pertinent questions that you have that we'll be happy to answer when you contact us. So, before we get started, think about what types of marketing are you currently doing? What has worked well? What hasn't worked well? Do you currently use retargeting? Are you using retargeting through Google pay-per-click? Are you using retargeting through Facebook? Or are you using internet-wide retargeting covering Google, Facebook, and the entire rest of the internet? How well does your marketing do right now? Are you able to calculate the return on investment of the advertising that you're doing right now? Do you know exactly how much it nets you? Do you know what your return on investment is for each client that walks into your office? And are you the sole decision maker? Or do you need other people to collaborate in making these decisions? Who are those people, and have you talked to them about these factors? If you're extremely impressed with what we show you, how soon do you want to start getting more customers and optimizing the power of all your current and future advertising and marketing efforts? Right away? A month? 3 months? Are you in a contract? Do you have a commitment? Or are you ready to go right now? So the big question is, first and foremost, what is retargeting? Retargeting, as you may know, is a form of online advertising that can help you keep your brand in front of all the people that leave your website without taking action, like calling you or going to your shopping cart or completing payment or filling out an opt-in form to get into an email or SMS list or to get some other type of incentive like a coupon. So what's all the fuss about retargeting? Why is retargeting so important, and why is it spreading like wildfire? Basically, the big problem is that your website is a revolving door right now, and that is not a good idea. Basically, what's happening is 98% of the people are walking out of your website without ever making a purchase, and you don't have any way to get them back unless you're doing retargeting. And if you're doing retargeting, the question is, are you limited by the platform that you're on instead of being able to reach people wherever they are? Wouldn't it be great if you could reclaim all of those highly valuable clicks that you got through Google pay-per-click or Facebook advertising or other RTB clicks? How about enhancing the power of your SEO? You've invested money to get everybody to get to your website, but when they land on your website, are you hitting them with a retargeting pixel so your ads can follow them around so you can remind them to come back, so that you can bring your visitors back and get the 98% that you're losing right now back to the offers that you have, the very things that they already expressed an interest to, an interest about? It's sort of what we call reclaim marketing, and you'll be able to better utilize the money and effort you've already spent on all these other forms of advertising, literally improving your return on investment of every type of advertising and marketing that you do. Remember, you worked hard to get them to your website once and often paid for it one way or another, so don't let them get away. The good news is that retargeting is only about 10% of the cost of your marketing budget. You can reclaim that 98% of the traffic literally for only 10% of your budget. So that makes a lot of sense when you think about it, right? When you're retargeting and your ads are following people around and they see you on big sites, authority sites, niche sites, big sites like CNN or ESPN, or niche sites that have to do with your industry like cars.com or realtor.com or Trulia and the like, it makes you look big and is impressive to people that you could be in all these places at once. So now we've talked a little bit about why we need retargeting. How about the next? What is retargeting? Basically, retargeting uses a cookie-based technology, which is a simple technical term for implanting a code to anonymously follow the people who land on your website as they travel throughout the internet on ad-enabled websites that are part of the RTB system. So how it works is basically we place this small piece of code on your website called a pixel. It's really completely, unnoticeable to your site visitors and doesn't slow down your site performance or anything like that. And every time a new visitor comes to your site, the cookie drops as an anonymous cookie on that browser. It doesn't give you the name or address of the person, but it gets you basically their IP address, so to speak, so that when they are surfing around the internet, that can be identified later. And this will ensure that your ads are served only to people who have previously visited your website, so you can bring back your most likely prospects, as well as reminding existing customers to return and do business with you again. The days of shotgun advertising through radio and TV and newsprint and even largely Google pay-per-click and other forms is gone. It's not necessary anymore. The potential customer comes, just like it shows on the diagram. They visit your site, but they leave without checking out. Later, they're surfing the web on one of these many sites, and your ad is there and recaptures their interest, bringing them back to their site, and you have another opportunity to convert them into a paying customer, client, or patient, as the case may be. Now, what you may not know is that 30% of users report that they really appreciate these retargeting ads to remind them to go back. And you say, why would that many people really appreciate it? The problem is that people get distracted, right? There's a lot of things going on today, and people are more distracted than ever. And often people find your website, maybe even through a search, but they don't remember what search term they used to get there, and they didn't bookmark your site, and they simply can't remember your name or how to find you again. So where does retargeting work, and how does it work? Again, when your previous visitors go out and surf around the web, your ad that we've preloaded up into our platform will be able to be shown on RTB ad-enabled websites all over the internet, reminding them of you and asking them to return. It's really a gentle approach of getting them to your website and a very efficient way of branding and keeping top of mind awareness. Basically, it gets you more traffic. And the next way that we do that is through the process of what's called real-time bidding. So first we were just talking about retargeting and the visitors who have already landed on your website. And you can reserve all the people who land on your website from whatever way they got there, and you retarget them. Now, for those of you who want to go out there and find new business and new people who have never even made it to your website, we can use the system-wide RTB platform. Basically, the RTB platform has reinvented traditional banner advertising in the same way that search engines use keywords. RTB uses behavioral and demographic data to target ads, your ads, directly to specific audiences. The audiences that have the same characteristics of your existing customers. So you can go after the same exact type of people that are already your customers that you have not yet reached, producing results like never before, which is why Fortune 1000 companies have been using it, and now you can too. So what is this real-time bidding system? Until now, the power of RTB has only been available to big budget brands and agencies, and we believe that advertisers of all sizes should have access to world-class RTB technology, and that's what we provide. That's what we're bringing to you today. Now you have access to the most fair, honest, and transparent way to buy advertising. And this is a simple diagram. Once again, visitors go to a web page, but not necessarily your web page, just another web page out there in the universe that has ads enabled on it. The exchange announces available bid to the manager, and the manager evaluates the targeting and see if anybody's bid on that advertising, and then an auction takes place for that advertising space. The winning bidder gets the ad served, and all of this takes place in less than 100 milliseconds, and it's happening over 100 billion times per day. So it really creates unbelievable transparency and fairness. There's no more having to deal with Google quality scores that are subjective or paying for similar eye space with 3 advertisers or 4 advertisers paying different amounts for the same ad space. Now it's one ad space. It's sold for a fair price because it's done at auction, and people are raising and lowering their bids accordingly based on how much traffic they're getting and how much response they're getting. So it cannot simply be overpriced for long term. So the really unique part of this, say McDonald's and Pepsi are competing for an ad spot, and say McDonald's bid $1.50 and Pepsi bid 80 cents. Well, if McDonald's bid $1.50 and Pepsi bid 80 cents, McDonald's would win that bid for 81 cents. You wouldn't just get stuck with the $1.50 just because you bid it. You actually only pay 1 penny more than the second place bidder. So these advertisers, which can be you, can bid for those spaces via real-time auction on every single person out there that fits your criteria on every single website throughout the internet that is enabled with RTB ads. And then the publishers that make available those ad spots, like again the CNNs and the ESPNs and WebMD and Yelp, and it goes on and on and on because there's just millions and millions of these websites. They serve the ads where your potential customers and prospects are. So why choose RTB? Basically, it's less expensive than other forms of paid search, and you can laser target people based on their interests, based on demographics, based on specific geolocations, based on specific types of sites they visit, and you can target a very wide audience for branding cheap any other format. Now, some people get a little concerned because they go, oh, what about ad fraud or having our banners show on the sites that we don't want them to be shown on? Well, you don't have to worry about that because we protect you through a company that is integrated with our platform called Integral Ad Science. They process billions of impressions per day, and they basically make sure that our placements only go on reputable sites. And as soon as anything gets a bad reputation, it gets blacklisted and ads never get served there again, if they ever got served there in the first place. Basically, it's an unbelievable process where ad fraud is taken care of and making sure that your ads are on the right types of websites. All of that happens seamlessly. So how does RTB and retargeting work together? Basically, people get on their computers and the RTB gets them to your website because they can be anywhere and not even know who you are or what you offer or where you're at or anything about you, but then they go to one of their favorite websites and there's your ad that entices them to come to your website. And after they've landed on your website, you can continue to retarget them wherever they go on the internet that has an RTB-enabled ad site. Again, millions of websites. And this loop, this feedback loop, continually can bring them back so that you can get more new customers and more repeat business. Google and Facebook retargeting are great. It's sort of been all the rage for the last few years. It's been one of the easiest ways for the smaller businesses and mid-sized businesses to get into a form of RTB. And we can do that for you, but Facebook and Google are only part of the prize. The key point to know is that Google basically owns the search, right? We know that when someone says, I'm going to Google something, they sort of dominate the search market, but they only control about 20% of the display advertising market, which means even if you're doing Google retargeting or Facebook retargeting, you're leaving about 80% of the money that's available to you on the table. There are a whole host of other things that are much too in-depth to get into this presentation. However, we have very advanced capabilities on our platform that allow us to create highly targeted audience where we can feature products or services or special offers that create stickiness in your prospects' minds so that we can retarget them over and over again. And to just give you a little sample of some real live case studies, we'll give you a couple examples of dentists. So dentists, if you look up in AdWords, you'll find out that the click for, say, a Phoenix dentist, the dentists are paying $9.75 to $12.30 every time someone clicks on one of their banners. And we ran 47,374 RTB impressions and 4,157 retargeting impressions with an overall savings of 87%. Just simply phenomenal. Case study number 2, same thing. You can look up In Dallas, Denison, Dallas, the price is even higher, $16.40 to $19.80. And we ran 82,585 RTB impressions and 7,484 retargeting impressions, and once again had a just phenomenal savings of 80+%. Now, while these are ideal examples, we routinely save our clients 20 to 40% over what they are currently paying to get new and repeat visitors, even compared to what other RTB agencies charge for the exact same ad space that we get fills on. Let that sink in. Right now, you could even be with another RTB advertising agency, so you're not just limited to that 20% of the pie. And we can often get the same exact ad space that you're buying right now for 20 to 40% less than you are paying another RTB agency right now, and we can prove it to you. So we have a special offer for you. If you contact us after watching this video, that includes retargeting, real-time bidding, all your banners, creation of a landing page, ad spend for the first month, 50,000 impressions, which is less than just over 4 cents per view in order to get you started. Our normal fee for this is $24.97, which is just over 5 cents per view, with everything else thrown in for free. But if you contact us and mention that you watched the retargeting video on the laserguidedmarketing.com website, we'll automatically give you a $500 off just for having watched this presentation through the website. That's right, all you have to do is contact the office, or if you were sent to this website by one of our independent sales consultants, simply contact that consultant back, let them know that you'd like to investigate this further, get any questions you have answered, or if you know you're ready to get going, contact them, let them know that you watched the presentation on the website, and you know that just by mentioning that you watched it on the website, you can get $500 off that initial package. So thank you very much for attending this short presentation on how you can find hidden gold for your business with retargeting and real-time bidding. Again, if you have any questions or you're ready to get started, contact the sales agent who introduced you or email us at info@laserguidedmarketing.com. Again, if you have been introduced to our platform through one of our independent sales consultants, please contact them first, because we will refer you right back to them anyway. You won't pay 1 penny more or 1 penny less by going through a sales rep or going direct through myself, the owner of the company. You will pay the exact same price. So make sure that you go to the dedicated person who already contacted you, because that person can help service your account for absolutely no extra charge. So thank you again for attending this presentation, and we look forward to serving your needs. Have a great day, and we'll see you on the inside, getting you more customers, more new business, and more repeat business with retargeting and internet-wide RTB display advertising.